Hi and good morning, and thank you for joining me on this demonstration on how to make a G-tube belt. To start off with, you'll choose your fabric and your flannel. You'll want to cut them at 5 3/4 inches for both your patterned and flannel piece. Next, you'll want to unfold your fabric and lay them out right side facing downward towards your flannel. You'll line up and face right side facing down all the way to your end of the fabric. Next, you need to determine what size belt you're going to make. Grab your tape measure and measure what size belt you need to make. For this belt, I'm making a 15 to 24. So I find my 24 mark here and I add 4 extra inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where I'll cut. Now that I have my belt piece cut, now I'm going to cut the flap. We're going to cut it at 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have our port cut flap. Now we're going to cut our tube flap. We're going to cut it at 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Now that we have our belt pieces, our port flap, and our tube flap, we're going to use a standard stitch. We're going to keep the tube flap long ways like this. We're going to take our port flap. The width of the fabric is 5 3/4. We're going to turn it to our 6-inch cut and stitch along the edges on both of these pieces. Okay, now that we have our port cover and our tube cover stitched along the edge, you're going to give yourself about a 1/4 hem allowance, which is included in these sizes. Now we're going to turn them right side out. Now that we have our port cover and our tube cover turned inside out, now we're going to stitch along these edges again at another 1/4 to secure it. Now that we've sewn our outside edges to give it that pretty look, next you're going to take Velcro. You're going to take the fluffy side of the Velcro. You're going to cut a 3 1/2, 4-inch strip to go here, a 2 1/2 to go here, a 2 1/2 to go here, and a 1 1/2 to go here. And they're going to be sewn to the back sides. Now that we have our Velcro attached, I find it easier to go ahead and do this step now to be able to make the actual port opening when we get to the belt. Now to the belt. A directional fabric, if you have one of those, or if you have just a mixed area and you want to find the best way to have everything in the right direction, if you want the fabric, the characters, or most of the characters, to face downward correctly, you'll want to start, you see the horse's feet here, or the tail, you'll want to start sewing from this direction here. When we get down here to the end, if you want to go ahead and find a bowl roughly about this size, I have a template that I use. I take my little template here and it just gives me the rough idea of the curve that I want to do at the end of the belt. And that gives you just a rough turning for this end of the belt where you'll put your Velcro here later. Now that we've sewn our belt, giving ourselves a 1/4 hem allowance, we've made our turn here at the edge, and we'll cut these little ends off here. And now you see here how I've trimmed the curve of the belt. Now we're going to turn it inside out. Okay, and now we have our belt turned inside out. We've straightened out our curve down here. And then all of our characters are facing in the right direction and not looking upside down at them. Okay, now you want to get your tape measure again and measure to a 25-inch spot. Okay, now that we have our tape measure, I'm making a 14 to 24 belt. So we're going to go down here, find our 24. Now we're going to go 25 and 1/4, and that's where we're going to mark. That's where we're going to turn the fabric inside to secure it. Okay, now we have that pinned in place. Now we're going to put our measuring tape back on to make sure that we are lined up correctly. I have 26 1/4. So yep, my belt size is right. Now, for the 15 to 25-inch belt, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of hook Velcro. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of elastic. The Velcro will go here on this side. The port flap cover will go here. The elastic will go here. And the tube flap will go here. We're going to start on that now. To get started on your placement for the port flap, on the area that we're putting the hook Velcro, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of hook Velcro. We're going to come over to 7 inches. And that's where we're going to put our port flap. Then we're going to do 5 inches of elastic in between here. We're going to come down here to our end. And we're going to come up to the 3-inch mark and put our tube flap there. Okay, and now we have our port flap pinned in place where we're going to sew it together. We have our tube flap in place where it will be sewn. You're going to start down here at this edge, sewing about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch in from the edge to give it a decorative and to pin everything down. We're going to do that part first. And now we have everything attached. We've done our 1/4 edge. Around all of it, we have our pieces attached. You want to come back and trim this up right here and here on this side. But now, I'll do that later. Now we're going to place our Velcro here and our elastic here. The hook part of the Velcro will go on the top because it's the scratchiest part of the Velcro, so we don't want that touching the skin. Same way here. You're going to want, this here is 6 inches. You're going to want to cut a hook strip of 4. You're going to want to cut 2 more hook strips of 2.5 inches. And another hook piece of 1.5 here. Now here on this side, we're going to be placing the loop part of the Velcro, the soft side, because it may come in contact with the skin. Okay, now that we've attached all of our Velcro, pull this piece open here. We've attached our Velcro pieces here, also here. Get that opened. Alright, we still need to attach our elastic here to the back side, 5 inches. We'll stretch it from here to here. Now the reason that we put this on in the first part of the steps is because it's easier to place the Velcro to match it up, and then we're able to find our center port opening, which we'll sew now. Okay, and now we had found our center. I've zigzagged the edges and cut out the center port opening. Alright, now on to the elastic. Cut 5 inches and stretch it from this span. You're going to cut a piece for here and a piece for here. Okay, and now we have our elastic stretched out here. Like this. I have zigzag stitched, and I've did an extra back and forth stitch here to secure it, and then done a stretch zigzag on both of them here. Now for the last step, we're going to create our Velcro piece for here. Now depending on what size Velcro that you have, I'm using a 3/4 inch. So I've got 3 pieces at 4.5 inches that I will butt up together and zigzag them together. And then I will take my template and make out my circle shape, and then I will zigzag the edge of that onto the end here. Now we place up here at our rounded edge. Now we're going to zigzag the entire edge to secure this to the belt. Okay, and now that we have zigzagged this to the top, we have finished our belt. Now our belt is finished. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make a G2 belt. Thank you for joining me to create this belt. Thank you.